that's it. The original video was remote installation services. Okay, programs, admin. Where is it? Active Directory, users and computers. So the way you create remote installation services is you have to select your domain controller, which is Active Directory, DHCP, DNS, Wins, and for me, IRS. So that's going to be all of the roles that this server has. Does it have? Okay, I haven't set up remote installation services yet. Okay, so let's do that now. It's not there, is it? It's under control panel. Add to remove programs, set it up, configure. Okay, that's all fine. E into remote install. Yeah, that's not a problem. The remote installation server should have enough disk space to support multiple installation packages. The folder structure must be installed on a drive that is formatted with NTFS. Yeah, that's not a problem. By default, the server does not support client computers until you configure it to do so after setup. To have the server begin supporting clients immediately, select both. Respond to client computers. Do not respond to unknown. No, in this environment, I shall allow them. Enter the path to the CD or network location of the Windows installation files. So in this case, it's going to take the 2000 server install files that I have, which is connected to the PC. So that's going to be server 2000. Microsoft Server 2000 Mac installs. So that's going to be fine. That's not going to be an issue. So what it's doing is copying all the files now to the remote install folder, and I'll be able to show you what happens. In fact, this is the wrong version, because I've got the server version here. I should really install the client version. Okay, cool. That looks like it's done. Excellent. So that's been completely set up now. I'm in the wrong place tonight. Programs, administrative tools, Active Directory, users and computers. So if you wanted to add other things to it once it's set up, the best way to do it is to go into your domain controller, right click, properties, and then you have remote installer as an extra tab. So you'll click advanced settings, forget about all this, that doesn't matter, go into images, and you can see the different images that are currently in this PC. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add the client version of Server 2000. So as you can see, it's just loaded it as the professional version. So if I go add, so if I go a new installation, so this option copies its contents of a Windows 2000 professional CD and associated with a standard unattended answer file. So this is the beginning of the remote installation services. D, yeah, because it's in my drive, let's call that Windows 2000 Pro. Doesn't matter, because they're all going to be professional versions anyway. Okay. Click that. Next. Use the client installation screen to rename the old ones. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Originally, when remote installation services was out, Windows 2000 was the new hotness, so it only supported that. And then when Windows XP was released, actually before XP was released, remote installation services was updated along with Windows 2000 to support deployment of other Server 2000. But when XP was released, it got updated to support XP installations. When Server 2003 was released, Server 2000 got updated again to support Server 2003 installations. So that's pretty much the limit on what remote installation services can do. So it's pretty much 2000, which is its client and server version, and XP and Server 2003. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add all those now into this, so you have the choice now of which versions to install. Okay, so I have copied all of the Windows versions that Server 2000 can support and the remote installation services. So there's Server 2000 Professional, there's the actual server, and there's Server 2003, which, why is that not identifying it as Microsoft Server 2003? That's only an identifier anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter. So it's version 5, version 5.1, and version 5.2. So that's all done. And where it stored it on that extra drive that I put in here, called remote install. And then they are all in the setup English images, so they're all located in here, which is fine. I believe this is set up to run remote installation services, but let me just double check. Do admin tools, let's have a look at DHCP. Yeah, so you are authorized, you are running, so you got your client PCs and you got your address leases. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up a client and then I'll be back. So I pushed my server into one corner so I can show you what the client end does and to see what the connection is on the server version. So the PXE boot is not specific to the VirtualBox. It is available in any physical hardware. So let's put this in and connect and see what happens. There you go. Local password. I got local and take these two out because I don't know what these are. There you go. Okay, so I can select any one of these to install. Because the client I want to install is Server 2000. Let's see what happens. Before the new operating system is installed, the computer hard drive must be repartitioned and formatted. All existing data on the drive will be deleted. To continue, press enter. So this is just really the same sort of idea when you install it off a CD. Computer name, so that's a unique address, the global ID is unique, and the server supported in this computer is the domain controller. Press enter if you're using the remote installation boot floppy, remove the floppy from the drive and press enter. Now carry on, and let's just see what happens. Let's quickly go into the server for a minute and see. Let's see what Active Directory says. Ah, there it is. It's already in Active Directory, which is really cool. It doesn't know what operating system is installed because it's doing it at the minute. That's pretty cool. I'm not touching this client at all because one of the main features of remote installation services is it's unattended install. So this is great from a network environment or from a domain environment when you have it set up. Let's say you have all the PCs ready. All you have to do is press F12, sign in, select which version you want, and it should just automatically work. There's other things that you can do, like you can configure it so it's already got. Actually, no, not in this version you can't. This is just a bare bones install. So what you would normally do from this time period was you would do a bare bones install, so it just installs Windows 2000, and if updates were slipstreamed into the installation disk, it would install those as well. But any additional software you would either do with other software or you have to manually install them. When it comes to the likes of, well, it's not strictly true, but anyway, let me just finish. When it comes to the likes of WDS and MDT, you could customize images to include applications when you installed it using remote installation services, or Windows deployment services as they later got called. You can technically use Active Directory to install software, and a lot of people do that. But there is restrictive, certainly in this version of Server 2000 where it's limited to MSI files. You can use batch files to run executables, but you need to know the silent install switches and stuff like that. But you can get it running, which is fine. As you can see, Server 2000 is installing. Windows 2000, which is the client, is installing without any user interaction, and this is pretty much what I wanted to achieve and what I want to do in this particular video. Probably the next one. Actually, I wait until it finishes, see if it brings up any errors, because there might be a couple of housekeeping things I need to do. Okay, so it's asking for a username. You can. I think this is in the answer file, but I need to set that up because it's been a long time since I've used Windows 2000 and XP answer files, which are the same thing, but let's have a look. Username is going to be what did I name the server? DC, wasn't it? CLI, which is client. Oh. Win 2000 organization domain. Yeah, that's fine. Product key. Can I use a product key? No, I need to put product key in. So which product key is this? I mentioned earlier in the video that Server 2000 has an evaluation version, and the actual professional version is also evaluations as well. So I can link these in the description and the description of the video, and you can test this out in your own virtual environment. Yeah. So that code worked, so I'll be providing that one to you. So don't say I don't give you anything. So that's automatically assigned it to the domain. So hopefully if I go into the server, it should have picked it up. Where's the refresh? Yeah. So the server identifies it as 2000 and this particular version. There's no service pack on it because I don't know if this has a service pack version. But we can find out, it's fine. This is an evaluation, okay, that's fine. Verify the computer's date and time, okay. Consider it verified. You have successfully, if there's a CD in your drive, remove it, let's have a look. There's none because it was all done via the network. Finish. Setup needs to restart your computer, okay, restart now, that's fine. So there you go, there is Server 2000. Sorry, not Server 2000, there is the client version of 2000. Let me go on to my, yeah, I don't want this computer, I want this computer, yeah, I want it into the domain, and let's change that to my admin account, admin. Yeah, so that admin account works. The user account should work anyway, which is fine. Show the screen at startup, it doesn't matter. So why we do with the client? Because it's no, I don't think this has a service pack. No, this doesn't. The client doesn't have a service pack, which is really weird. What version of Internet Explorer is it using? Go through the usual settings, which I did for the server. Do not set up internet mail account. All I want to do, stop, help. Yeah, it's 5. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so what I would do from this point, because it's VM, I would install the virtual machine editions, and then I would just update it. And to be honest, if I was to install XP, I would do the same thing, and if I were to install the server, I would do the same thing as well. But I think this is a good point in this video to stop it, because there's so much I could show you now, because there's a basic network setup, that I could go on. But anyway, this video is long enough as it is, so yeah, that's going to be the next set of videos, and the next video is going to be using Active Directory and group policy to install programs to your freshly deployed Windows operating systems. That is a massive subject, but I'm only going to briefly go over it, and then I'll do a few other things as well. But this is a start. And hopefully, probably by the third episode, I'll explain WSS offline update, I think, because it's a very nice feature. Okay, so that's it from me for today. Thank you for watching.